and welcome to NAFDAC and Your Health. I am your host, Tosin Adebayo. Here, we bring you up to date with NAFDAC's activities with regards to its mandate of safeguarding the health of the nation. This week on the program, we will bring you a potpourri of NAFDAC's regulatory activities from all across Nigeria. And we kick off in Enugu. In a bid to educate stakeholders in the food and drug sector on how the import and export processes at the airports, seaport, land borders, and bonded terminal works, NAFDAC hosted a Port Inspection Directorate stakeholders meeting in the Southeast region in Enugu. Issues in the front burner at the meeting were guidelines for import and export, as well as obtaining license through electronic processing.
And submit physically as it used to be in the past. Once you log onto this platform, the requirements are there. My colleague is going to take us on this way of processing your new licenses. So, clearance processes at ports, seaports, at the airport, seaports, land borders, and bonded terminals. Before considering importation, ensure the products you intend to import are registered products. However, regulated products such as lubricants, general chemicals require NAFDAC permit before importing. The implication of this is that you are not expected to import a product that is not registered. It's a violation. By the time we get to violations, we also mention that it's a violation. So it's expected that whatever you are importing must have gone through the process of registration and approved. And you have what we widely call NAFDAC registration number. Types of e-licenses. These e-licenses are the various categories of licensing issued based on the products you are importing. Now let's look at the first one, approval of letter of no objection. This is issued to a third-party importer with letter of no objection from the marketing authorization holder, allowing the third party to import their registered product.
How NAFDAC certificates and permits can be processed by customers doing it without an intermediary was also dealt with.
Now, the trade portal is a channel that links all government agencies in a single point. Government agencies that are players in Nigerian ports. For example, NAFDAC, the customs, quarantine services, then the Shippers Council and others. The platform enables government to harmonize and standardize information exchange between commercial and administrative stakeholders. Of course, which provides fast, reliable, paperless, and efficient transaction. And why is it very important? Remember, time is of essence. Like Prof. mentioned something of sharp. He said businessmen like doing something very fast. Now, the trade portal will enable you to experience that. It saves you time and as well as cost.
Importers and exporters were also warned against fraudulent activities like false declaration.
Maybe I imported dried fish heads and declared it as spare parts. Then during the inspection, it discovered that what is actually there is dried fish heads, not spare part that was declared. That's a serious violation and it's false declaration, and there is penalty for that. only to discover chemicals that are NAFDAC regulated products, or NAFDAC regulated products are declared only to discover building materials.
There were contributions from a stakeholder and a representative from the Nigeria Shippers Council.
The presentations were presented perhaps because of the context of the environment. It's all directed towards importation. And check through looking for export business consideration in that. I think we need to talk more about it, because nowadays the government is saying we should export and the world is saying export. And of course, with African liberalization of trade, after we should also be thinking in that direction, because it's so urgent.
In order to clear up mess now, because in Nigeria, in our system, there is a lot of mess, extortions going on here and there. What there is that we were giving the authority from the presidency to clear up all those mess. If you go to Nigerian ports now, you will see security agents. Somebody told me now that in the airport, you don't know what is happening, that the place is flooded with so many drugs of Pogo, Army, maybe actually fear not. That is a Nigerian Shippers Council task force. So in order to see whether those we can minimize extortions, we call it Nigerian mess in the port industry, because there is a lot of mess in the system. And that means that you see how the custom is saying that they are after cross-examination by NAFDAC, that somebody will come. It's extortion. So if they did catch up by those presidential task force, it is on its own. So what am I saying, my brothers and sisters? We are here as a government. We interwoven. Our functions are interwoven.
The Deputy Director of the Port Inspection Directorate of the Southeast sheds light on what informed the meeting.
We invited stakeholders, importers, clearing agents, the terminal operators, the customs, Nigerian Shippers Council, all those are involved in import-export within our region here. And basically, we are trying to get them to be used to NAFDAC. We are trying to see how we can interact and make business flow easily. We wanted to hear from them, and we wanted them to hear from us, so that we can, exchange ideas and see how we can enhance business in this region. This region, bonded terminals and the Onitsha River port are fairly new. They are baby ports. They just started operation a few years ago. I think we're about 3 years now operating here. So there's so many issues emerging. And we thought it would be wise for us to bring them together, tell them what NAFDAC is doing, what are their problems, what problems we've seen in the field so far, and to see how we can move on in order that the place will blow up, the place will be bigger, and business will flow better.
As it urges stakeholders in the food and drug business to continuously engage with NAFDAC and use its services at the ports.
Importers and exporters, please, what we're doing today, we're encouraging you to come and use the river port and bonded terminals in this area. Our only caveat is, please be knowledgeable, be equipped, be ready. Don't just import and it is then you are looking for NAFDAC guideline, SON guideline, custom guideline. Get all that information first. We are ready to help you. Come to our office 24/7. We are there. If you can't, go to the website. We have all the information you need. Once you have all that knowledge, you have all your documents, you have follow the processes, you can clear your goods within a day or two. We do that at the international airport at Enugu already.
We'll take a short break now. Don't go away.
The MedSafety app is the latest reporting tool introduced by the National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control in November 2020 as part of the Innovative Medicines Initiative project. The app is made available to the public in collaboration with World Health Organization, Uppsala Monitoring Center, Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, UK, and National Agency for Food, Drugs and Administration and Control, NAFDAC. The MedSafety app allows users to track safety information of medicines, vaccines and other health products, report adverse drug reaction to a medicine or vaccine, and view data on suspected side effects. When you have received your COVID-19 vaccine, you can use the MedSafety app to report any adverse reaction or side effect you may feel. The app can be used by anybody, irrespective of whether you are a medical practitioner or not. You, your family, and friends, everyone can download and use the MedSafety app to report adverse drug reaction. Just search for MedSafety on Google Play Store for Android and App Store for iOS. When using the app for the first time, the user needs to select his or her region. In this case, Nigeria, and also choose the preferred language of choice. The user will then be taken to the login page where you create an account by providing your email and password or proceed as a guest. To create an account, you are required to provide the following details: reporter type, example, physician or pharmacist, as well as their name and email address, password with at least 9 characters with 1 uppercase letter and a number. Read the privacy statement and accept. Once you are logged in, the user is presented with a number of tabs, which includes news, products and watch lists. Under the Report tab, the user can report a new suspected adverse drug reaction, ADR. On opening a new report, the user is prompted to input patient details, which include initials, sex, and date of birth. The user is then required to input details of the suspected medicine. These include suspected medicine name, other drug details such as strength, batch, dosage details. Multiple suspect drugs and concomitant drugs can be added at any time. The report can be saved and completed at a later time. A saved report can be found on Pending Reports and can be continued by clicking on the report and continuing from where the user stopped. Enter reaction details, reaction date and outcomes. Multiple suspects' reaction can also be added. Also, further details about the report can also be included, such as did the reaction cause prolonged hospitalization, disability, congenital anomaly, or birth defect, life-threatening results in deaths, and so on. Finally, you can also add details of any relevant medical history before submitting the report. The user receives a message on the app confirming submission and an acknowledgement in the mail for submission. Reports can be created and saved without internet connection and be sent whenever internet connection is available. The product tabs show all medicines in the NAFDAC list database. It's easier to navigate to a drug or vaccine of interest, and this data is obtained from the WHO Uppsala Monitoring Center. User can also add products of interest to their watch list to get the latest information on the drugs. All products added to the watch list can be viewed in the watch list tab. The News tab displays drug safety information by NAFDAC. This is usually up to date with drug safety information. Registered users can also edit their profile or change app settings. For more information on the app, please contact the National Pharmacovigilance Center (NPC) at NAFDAC headquarters, plot 2032, Olusegun Obasanjo Way, Wuse Zone 7, Abuja, or call 09290511110 or send email to medsafetyapp@nafdac.gov.ng or pharmacovigilance@nafdac.gov.ng.
Welcome back. You're watching NAFDAC and Your Health. In Asaba, the agency impounded consignments of unregistered herbal drugs. The drugs were being hawked in an abandoned Sienna van at the GT Bank Junction off Nebisi Road, Asaba. The exercise, which was met with stiff resistance against NAFDAC officials who were on routine inspection, necessitated the invitation of NAFDAC's Investigation and Enforcement Directorate, who provided reinforcement, leading to the arrest of the kingpin, simply known as Dr. BC, and 3 other suspects. Reacting to the development, the NAFDAC coordinator in Delta State, Farm Jude Ndekile, called on the general public to be mindful of the herbal products they consume and always ensure that they have a NAFDAC listing number. He says hard time awaits recalcitrant herbal drug producers who refuse to heed the agency's regulations and guidelines. From Asaba, we head out to Taraba State, where NAFDAC recently organized a consultative meeting with stakeholders of herbal, Islamic herbal, trade unions, and other interested groups. Speaking at the event, NAFDAC State Coordinator P.T. Selba appreciates the stakeholders for their cooperation with the agency. He admonished them to be law-abiding by carrying out their businesses within the confines of NAFDAC regulations. Some of the issues discussed at the consultative forum are the verified and approved herbal medicine in circulation, unauthorized advertisement of herbal medicines, sales of unregistered, fake and expired products, poor storage, warehousing and distribution of regulated products, poor practice of harvesting fish using chemicals, adulteration of vegetable red oil using unpermitted color additives, and the use of calcium carbide in fruit and vegetable ripening. A week-long raiding exercise in the southwest of Nigeria saw officers of NAFDAC comb some markets in search of illegal drugs and other prohibited consumables.
We covered the entire Idumota drug market. We mop up all unregistered products from Idumota drug market. Day 2, we went to strategic places in Lagos, particularly some of the bridge. Some people are selling, they are hawking drugs under the bridges. They are not allowed. It's not approved. We went after them. We evacuated all their wares, all the drugs. Also, some people too, they are selling some of these herbal drugs. You see them hawking them probably at Oshodi Market, Iyanakwaja Market. You see people hawking drugs probably in the sun. And they are not allowed to do that. Despite the fact that the products are registered, but the condition where people are hawking these drugs, they are not acceptable.
We all have a role to play in this. Because there is also a demand issue and a supply issue to it. And also we need owners of premises to be part of it. Because a situation where you have like filling stations where people allow drug hawkers to congregate, no. Or you have motor parks where you have them, and the Nigerian Road Transport Workers Union are there watching them. We want to let them know that those people should not be within their premises. They should not allow them, because they sell all manners of drugs. We will continue to do our work. From time to time, we will go there, we get them arrested. So also you find some brothels, where the sex workers, as they call them, where they are. You find some of these people, they sell, especially the aphrodisiacs. They mill around that area, and we go after them as well to arrest them. But the funniest thing is that most of these people you find there are people who don't even have relations. You arrest them, nobody comes around to take them on bail.
A nationwide surveillance of the nefarious activities of those who choose to sell harmful products to Nigerians, Hawking it in the open or hidden places is a continuous exercise for NAFDAC as a regulatory agency, and Nigerians should also support by providing information to NAB perpetrators.
We have to keep appealing to people. Please don't patronize these people. It's not like the bean cake that we call akara. Drugs are not akara. Even akara, we don't expect people to go on the street. Akara that is infested with flies and the rest, cockroach, you buy it and eat, let alone drugs. These people, when it is raining, they are carrying the drugs. When the sun is when it is very hot, they are carrying it. So the fact is that, and they have all sorts of concussions. Like we keep saying this, the recent one we've been talking about, how people lace some of these herbal drinks that they hawk or that they sell in some of these places, especially the motor parks. How you find, they mix it with cannabis or sometimes with tobacco. And these are some of the people who drive on the way. You find them with big trucks. You find them, even the ones that take people on Okada. And you see the way they ride their motorcycle. Every time people are breaking their limbs and the rest because of these people.
The exercise is still ongoing because we're still going to go to some other states in the southwest. We are not going to stop here. We are still going to continue with this exercise. All I just want to tell Nigerians is that they should be careful of what they buy in the market. Any product that is not approved, that is not registered by the agency, please, no matter how cheap those products are, do not buy them. That is one. Two, when you are getting your product, like all these anti-malaria antibiotics, try and see the MAS that is written there. You can scratch it, and from there you can text it to the certain number that is written on the drug so as to know, you can be sure of what you are buying. Do not go to under the bridge and patronize all those hawkers, especially those people that are selling in the market. They will just display their herbal drugs on the bonnet of their vehicles. People should not patronize them.
The agency is also working with the legislative arm of government in order to strengthen the operational law of NAFDAC in the area of enforcement against offenders.
These are criminal offenses. When you bring in a product that is prohibited, it's an infringement against the Import Prohibition Act, as well as the Miscellaneous Offences Act as well. So you have also the Counterfeit and Fake Drugs and Unwholesome Processed Foods Miscellaneous Provisions Act, Cap C 34, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria. Yes, there's punishment for it, 5 years imprisonment for when you hawk, So 5 years imprisonment, and also you have the fine as well there. So, but that's why we are calling upon the National Assembly, because there's the NAFDAC counterfeit bill which is there. We want to review the penalty. So we enjoin the National Assembly to please see to it that the bill is enacted into law, so that we have something to really, something that we can use as a tool to fight the incidence of counterfeiting.
Here is where we draw the curtains on this edition of the program. Join us same time, same station next week for another informative package. In the meantime, if you have comments, complaints, or you want to report activities of fake drugs or adulterated food product peddlers, our doors are always open. You can reach NAFDAC via toll-free numbers. For inquiries, call 0700 162 3322. For complaints, call 0800 162 3322. You may also email NAFDAC at nafdac.gov.ng. If you have complaints about any form of misconduct, you can reach the Reforms Unit via email reforms@nafdac.gov.ng or call the Reforms hotlines on 0909 763 0506 or 0909 763 0507. NAFDAC, customer focused, agency minded. Importing, producing, distributing and selling fake drugs and cosmetics, adulterated food, and so on are criminal activities that destroy lives. Join the fight against these heinous crimes by reporting any suspicious activity in your area to NAFDAC. Let's join hands to safeguard the health of the nation. See you next week. Stay safe.